Hello, my name is Tom Jones and I make urns for veterans which I donate to organizations like Missing in America and families that can't afford urns and other veteran organizations that sometimes contact me with a family that can't afford an urn to bury their loved one, and so I provide those urns for them. Now what I'm going to do today is try to make a short video, hopefully, of how I make these urns. To start off with, I have to set up my table saw, so I'll show you how I do that. Before we go to the table saw, I want to talk about some preliminary things that you need to know about urn sizes. Most of the crypts in the national cemeteries run, let's see, 18¼ inches deep, 12 inches high, and high, and 7½ inches wide. So I try to keep my urns in the 8¼ 8 5/8, somewhere in that size for the depth, and 7 1/8 or about 7 1/4 for the width, and the height around 8 and I got 8½ inches. One thing you need is the rule of thumb is 1 square inch per pound of body weight, and you'll find that when you make an urn with 3/4 inch material, the interior will give you plenty of room to hold just about any body weight that would be imaginable. So if you hit those parameters, you'll be able to make an urn that'll hold the remains of a veteran. Now, to make an urn, I found that the board about this size, about 4 feet long. This one, let's see, we're 49 inches there, and that is 9 inches, and within this 3/4 inch material. We'll start down with something about this size. I can make one urn, and what I'll do is to start off with, put this on the table saw with my long, my miter gauge and my long fence, and I'll put a 45-degree angle on this end. Once I'm finished with that, let me stop. Now once I put that end on my board, these are pieces I've pre-cut to show this demonstration. I'll take the 45-degree end, and I've made myself a stop block that's got a 45-degree angle on it. I'll put it on my fence and get a measurement of one of the sides figured out. And with that long board, I'll then cut those two pieces off. Okay, so I'll have, at that point, I'll have in this situation, I'll have the two long pieces cut. And then I'll do the same thing for the shorter side, or vice versa, whichever way works for you. Once I'm done with that, I'll put in the dado blade and run a 1/4 inch groove down the top edge of all the sides. I'll run that through, and then I'll switch to a larger dado set and run a 1/2 inch. Usually I run about a 1/2 inch rabbet on the bottom of the thing. Once I've got these all done, then I will take all this to the assembly table and put it together. Now, to make the top, I put in a straight bit, which I then raise
to approximately close to what I think is going to be the needed side to fit snugly in the sides of the urn. I push that forward, and I've got these are the hold downs. Okay, and I run that through. Usually I got that set up just about, let's see. I usually have that set up at about 1/4 of an inch deep. I run through the end pieces first, both the end pieces, the side pieces I run through, and I keep sneaking up on until I get a fit that fits into the sides of the urn like this.
Okay, so now, once I
Get to that point, then I bring my pieces to my assembly table and I lay the pieces out in the order that they go together, making sure all the right grooves are in the proper order. I lay them out like this, and then, okay, using the straight edge, I take packing tape and I tape them together. I just overlap my packing tape until I've got this entirely covered. Once I get to that point, I can turn it over, and then I can put in my lid, or the top. It's not really a lid, it's a top. And I start folding it together. I do a dry fit on this to make sure everything's going to fit properly. Okay, so at this point, I've got it assembled with, sometimes you have to jiggle it around a little bit to get it together. And you can see we've got our groove for the bottom. This is where the bottom will fit in. And once I got that dry fitted, I'll put glue in all these grooves, bring it together with the glue, and then tape that last side together. And then once I get that, sometimes you have to just kind of jiggle things around to get them to look right and fit just properly, and let that dry. After that dries, you can measure the inside, not getting a good picture there, measure the inside for your bottom, cut it out, insert it, and then I've got some examples here of urns that I finished where we've got the bottom, and I just screw the bottom on, and when we're finished, we can, when we need to put the remains in, we take the screws out, put the remains in, and seal it back up. Also, let me show you example. This is an example of, I have a laser engraver where I engrave them with the insignia. I don't know if we can, how well we can get that focused in, but that's the insignia that this is cedar, the other ones are This other wood is poplar. And that's how I make urns. Thank you for watching.